perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn Haven. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub, I'm full of water. I stay hot tub, stay hot tub. Gonna get you hot tub.
I want to thank Michigan Day for this Gator shirt on Gator Day. I got up earlier. I had a Georgia shirt I was going to put on. I said, wait a minute, it's Gator update there today. Can't do it. Let me turn this thing off here, please.
Please, yeah.
I have my Mutual of Omaha update.
Yeah, that's what you're looking at.
Get it. Our first fatal attack, a bear killed a person down Jerome, Florida. It's near south of Cypress, Big Cypress. 89-year-old man and his dog walking, and it showed a picture of a huge bear, one of the bears they killed. They actually killed 3 bears to try to get the DNA and see if which bear actually did it. They don't know they got the right bears, not, so 3 of them died, which I hate.
So any bears listening, that's how we do it. You take one of ours, we take 3 of yours.
89 years old.
Well, it looked
out
like
walking his
it
dog.
looked like a lunch on wheels.
Yeah, unbelievable. Anyway, be careful.
I shouldn't laugh.
No, it's just okay. It was Wildcat's dad, so
nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
No,
I do. But anyway, that's crazy. Hey, I want to talk about last night's game, Arnold's baseball game versus Clay. Watch the game. Unbelievable game. Both those teams fought so hard. It was incredible. I think it went to 10 innings, 9 innings, whatever it was. I was there. Jerry Resser and his beautiful wife, we sat there and watched the game. Had a great time. Eli Blair saw him, saw Steve. Steve was up in the press box, saw his wife. And since also Angie Dunlap was there. Anyway, huge crowd, Glenn. Huge crowd. The facility's really nice there. But if I'd have said this and Arnold lost, everybody go, you're making excuses and whatever. But I'll say it for both sides. And I know that these are the officials. It's a tough job. I know, I get it. But all my years watching basketball, baseball, and football playoff games throughout 30-something years, over 30-something years, I have never seen a game called like that. And I'm not going to be critical of them. I just saw a lot of mistakes. And I'm telling you, it got ugly for both sides. I've never seen high school games calls being overturned by the people that weren't even supposed to make the calls. Down third baseline, down first baseline. It's something, you had to be there to believe it.
You heard a lot of, come on, Blue.
Oh, my, no, it was
No, the next call
bad.
you make better be
bad.
the next call you make better be for a cab. Is what
It was, Glenn, if you'd have been here, you'd have gone, I never seen anything like this.
I know. I've probably been arrested.
It was terrible. It was, but saying all that, Blair gets a single, drives in a run, ties it up, and then the third baseman gets. I talked to his granddaddy. His name just went on my head. Police. I'm so sorry, but the guy did a great job. Knocks in the winning run. Arnold wins 7-6. History. First time in 25 years, Arnold's baseball is going to Fort Myers to play for a state championship in baseball, and which is huge.
Awesome.
It's huge.
Absolutely.
And great job, great crowd, great time. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, I was wondering when you're going to play some music. Yeah, I was looking for Glenn. I said, I know Glenn's going to be here.
Coach was running out of adjectives.
I was looking for Glenn, like, Glenn's going to be here somewhere. He knows I'm here. Glenn, you here?
No, I'm not.
He goes, I'm watching Dallas rerun at home. JR just got
He can
shot.
only come over that bridge once a day, you know.
Unbelievable.
I was pulling for him, though. I tell you what, I had my fingers crossed for all of them.
Do you want to give the rest of the baseball scores?
I will.
Go ahead.
Yep. Of course, we're going to declare Bozeman the public state champions. They got beat by Trinity Christian last night, 10-9, and they were leading 9-2 going into the 6th. So we don't know what happened there, but congratulations, a great year for them to be put up in the classification with all the private schools.
Glenn, I think there was 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Kid hits a home run. The young man sitting beside me, his grandson's third baseman for Arnold. He had it on his phone where you can watch what's going on.
Right.
Some kind of, I forgot what they call it, but it was really cool. It was like 9-2. Bozeman's in charge, and it's kind of slipping, starting to slip. Blair comes over and goes, "Hey, Coach, they're in last inning. It's now 9-8." I said, "Oh my God!" So we're feeling pretty good about it. It's going to happen. Bozeman's going to win. Jerry and Razor, we're talking about going to the game over at Bozeman Thursday night, and then the guy says, "Look, guy hit a home run."
Wow. Yeah.
Made me sick.
Yeah. And then, we know that. Then the Walton 4, Swanee 2, so they're going there too. That's just, they're in 3A, Arnold's 4A. And then in the 5A, Niceville will play Lincoln tonight. They start their series tonight. They're a couple of days behind. So, and then also in the rural last night, we had Holmes County 10 and J5, and Holmes County is now 2-0, so they're going on.
Going to state, baby.
Yep. And then Cottondale was defeated by Port St. Joe.
And
it was
Tiger Sharks.
Yep, 13-1, and so they move on.
The Taco Bell Tiger Sharks are going to the state championship.
Congratulations
Love
to
it,
them.
man.
And then softball starts tonight. So it's North Bayhaven versus Walton. This is 2A. Bozeman is at Florida High, and Freeport's at Baldwin, and that's 2A. And your 3A is Wakulla versus Bishop Kenny, another private school. West Florida is at Yulee. And then South Walton's at Paxton School in Jacksonville. That's a private school. And then 4A, Choctaw is at Baker County. And then Arnold versus Clay. If Clay will be at Arnold tonight. It starts at 4, though, because Clay's got
today?
Yeah, today.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And
Clay,
then, Fort Walton Beach versus Menendez at 7, Fort Walton Beach. And Escambia has to travel all the way to Columbia tonight to play Columbia at 6:30.
Wow.
And then starting on the 13th, in the oral rule, Jay plays Chipley, Northview plays Holmes County, Liberty County plays Cottondale, and Franklin County will play Port St. Joe. This is all in girls softball.
Man, come on, Rick Green, get that softball team going.
Well, I'm looking at the statewide results here in the baseball, and Arnold and South Walton are going to have a nice advantage in that there's very few that are going through 2-0. So, like, if you look at the 4A bracket, Arnold went through 2-0. So did Jesuit, and I guess that's Tampa Jesuit.
They're good. They're good.
But then down in the bottom half of the brackets, you have Bishop Moore and Mulberry are tied 1-1, so they've got a third game. American Heritage is up 1-0 on Bell and Jesuit. I think of course, that's South Florida. I think they had a rain out or something like that, so that's going to change things. 3A, South Walton's the only team through. They already went through. Bishop Verot and Calvary Christian are tied 1 game apiece.
Bishop Verot's in it? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, Umatia and Hernando, they're the 5 and the 7 seeds. They went through their plans. So that one's crazy upside down, but they're tied 1 game each. And then Miami Springs is up 1-0 on St. Brendan. So, they're going to get a little more rest.
So South Walton could be playing Bishop Verot.
I don't know that. I don't know who gets matched up with who. It's hard to tell on that, but it is possible.
The reason I bring it up, South Walton is in Fort Myers. That's a private school, and you talking about support.
Bishop Verot, you mean?
Bishop Verot, yeah. It's down in Fort Myers. It's a private school. The facility's incredible, and they travel well. That place will be packed out for them. They're good. They've always been really good. But I tell you what, South Walton's going to do it. I just got a gut feeling.
Now, granted, the games I don't think start till the 19th, so you do have the week off, but still.
Why did they do
that much more
Glenn,
time?
have y'all heard what the deal was with that? Why they're doing that? Because last night nobody knew the reason.
I'm sure it was some level of scheduling, because they can't have everybody going at the same time. Somebody was going to have to go late. I'm not sure it's the worst thing in the world to get a little break, especially if you've played, a couple of 3-game series.
If you win, you want to keep going.
If you've played a couple of 3-game series in a row.
Yeah, the other thing, too, is travel. If you've traveled a long way, then you got to turn right around in a couple of days and travel again.
What's school at?
Yeah, they'll claim it's for the kids in class, but we all know what
School,
that
I think
means.
school will be out,
Yeah.
right? Arnold's
Well,
graduation.
it'll be close around then, yeah.
Some of these guys are going to miss graduation. Steve's going to be down. He'll miss some of these graduation. He's going to be down there. Steve Moss will be at the game. He's not going to miss that, and he shouldn't miss it.
Right.
Jerry wants to go. He can't go because the graduation is going to register. We had a great time with them last night. But here's the deal. Here's what we got to get doing. You got plenty of time to do it, but let's start it today. If you're on Panama City Beach, it's going to cost a lot for Arnold to head down that way. If you can give any amount of money, please do so. Go by the school and drop it off. Same thing, South Walton. Those kids are incredible over there. Please go by and support South Walton. Give them whatever amount of money you can. Arnold, South, and the same thing, Port St. Joe. All you Tiger Sharks down there, go give a little donation to the school. Holmes County, same way. But can you believe this? This is incredible. Port St. Joe going to play for a state championship. Holmes County going to play for a state championship. Arnold, first time in school history. South Walton. Glenn, this is baseball city, man. This is the best of the best, the elites of the country, not Florida, the country, right here in Northwest Florida. Incredible. And we're so proud of all the teams, all the coaches. We'll have Coach Jones on Monday morning, talk to him. We'll have Patton on Friday morning. We're going to switch gears today, 7:15. We're going to have Coach Brown on. Talk of Bay High School football. Spring football is going on at the same time. We got a new football coach, Glenn. Who is it?
Well, let's see. Kevin Pettis is going to North Bay Haven. Bozeman. And
that guy can coach.
He can. He's been around a long time. He played at Rutherford, played football at Rutherford. I think he graduated around 87, 80.
He played for Steve, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so. No, Steve didn't get there around 2000.
Okay, I thought he played.
1990. I'm sorry, I'm skipping around a generation, but he's a good guy. He started out coaching at Perry was a good friend of mine, and so he's been around. He's been a head coach at several places, and so. You know,
I've always heard great things about the guy.
He's done a great job. Matter of fact, he's a veteran's paratrooper.
He's a God bless him, man. No wonder I like that guy so much.
Congratulations to him.
That hurts my Marlins, man. We heard lose. Josh might have to step up over there, which would be fine. But he did a great job in Arnold. Griff had an unbelievable coaching staff. I wonder if he's taking anybody off Arnold's staff over there.
Well, his son coaches with him, so I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know that. Yeah. He hadn't said anything yet, but he is.
We got to try to get him on the show. Yeah. But great job, congratulations. They knocked a home run with that hire there. But getting back now, can Arnold? Do you think there's any way Arnold softball, baseball both get to the state championship?
It could be a possibility.
Wouldn't that be incredible? The only school in the history of Bay County to do that.
Could be.
The only school, the oldest school in Panama City Beach to go play for a state championship.
It's coming.
Can you believe that?
Well,
I can't help me. I'm trying to get Glenn mad. He ain't working.
Well, there's only one football state.
That bear, it'll come.
That's right.
Keep poking that bear.
He's got the gun on him. I know when to shut up.
There's only one football state championship.
Good job, Rutherford. Good job. Was it Rutherford?
Yes,
my bad. Bay.
Yes,
my
again.
bad. My bad.
Yes,
my
again.
bad.
That number is 850-866 if you want to call James.
Hey, Brian, do we ever had a state championship swimming team?
No, we got close. We've had individuals.
Right.
The overall team, no. Steve had Mosley runner-up one year when there were 3 classifications. That was probably about 10, 12 years ago. Probably more like 15 at this point. We had Arnold runner-up a couple of times on the boys and on the girls. In fact, the boys, it came down the last event one time and lost to Gulliver Prep, so I claimed the public school championship that year as well. But we got real close a couple of times. I think we lost one of them by 4 points, and again, we were leading going to the lap. But we knew it was going to play out that way.
So, Glenn, we've never had that's not good.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah. No. We've had in weightlifting, we've had in football, we've had in baseball.
Yeah.
What about track?
Rutherford, we had some individual state champions.
Didn't Bay have a really good team when the
Bias was the 400-meter champion.
But I'm talking about Coach did a great job.
Coach Bias, Coach Bias did a good job, and you know the Gary Terrell, the track is named after him. Did fantastic, all those years.
I don't know why that football field's not named after you over there. What's going on with that?
I'm still alive.
We can make that go
Yeah,
away.
it's true.
They named that outhouse after
They did. Well, I got pictures in the gym in there, but also got to give a shout out to the girls tennis team from Rutherford to go down there and play all those private schools.
And when Kay was the coach at Bay, they always had good tennis.
Yeah, they went a lot. They just never could overcome.
Yeah, Rutherford's tennis team. Wow.
And North Bay Haven's boys made it to state this year.
Unbelievable. Anyway, great. Just remember, Arnold High School. If you were at that game last night, your emotions went from one extreme to the other.
Absolutely.
The game had been lost. The game had been won. The game had been lost on both sides. It was incredible.
That's why coaches can't get health insurance right there.
All right, let's talk about our great sponsors. Today and today only, the world famous J. Michael Spaghetti. It's incredible. I got to get Steve Moss on the show soon. We got to talk about this game.
Real quick, I just got this from Steve. They were second to Belen Jesuit in 2011 and to Gainesville in 2012.
Second place 2 times. Wow. Unbelievable. Also, if you're over in Lynn Haven, get out to Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Pat Perno, city commissioner, does a great job. But today, his restaurant, Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven, 10 wings inside for $9.99. If you're down that way, where are you going to head, Wildcat? I need to get Glenn a gift.
I'll tell you what you got to do.
I need to give him a state championship Arnold baseball gift.
They can do that. They can make custom-made, one-of-a-kind jewelry at David Adamson Designer Jewelry, Highway 77 in Lynn Haven. Mother's Day is this Sunday. A lot of people are getting married. If you've got that one-of-a-kind girl, you want to get her a one-of-a-kind ring, and they can do that. David Adamson Designer Jewelry.
Well, if they win it out, if they give me one, I'll wear it. So it's a size 11. So Steve Moss, if you're listening, and also Coach Jones, we got to give Coach Jones. Give Coach Jones some advice. Don't do what Todd Harless did and say, "Hey, can you get some help?" and get tossed out of the game. That's all he did.
I want to know what this one type of girl is he's talking about. Yeah, tell me. You met her?
I
think I met her.
I've got one.
You got one. Okay. All right, we'll be right back. Arnold Marlins going to the state championship. So is South Walton Bozeman. Man, they broke our heart. What a year, though. Jeff Patton, state champions public school. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
A 2-run home run.
The Atlanta Braves are back.
Here comes the throw. It's late. Braves win.
And ESPN Northwest Florida is your exclusive radio home for Braves country.
He just wrecked that thing. Straightaway center, a homer for Riley.
Sales, Strider, Acuna, Ozzie, Riley, Profar, and Coach Snitker lead a stellar lineup. Listen live nights and weekends on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Wednesday. A possibility of thunderstorms and mostly cloudy this afternoon and evening with a wind coming out of the south-southwest around 8 miles per hour and a high of 81. Tonight, look for light sprinkles and mostly clouds with a temperature near 73. Tomorrow, a high around 78 and mostly clouds in the morning, followed by a likelihood of thunderstorms. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
This is where heroes are created, legends are born, and dynasties forged. The Sports Talk Monster, ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We got Jerome Glenn with us this morning. We got Brian with us. We got Wildcat. And now we've got the man, the myth, the state championship football coach. Not many of them around. He has won a state championship. He's turned around every program he's been to. The guy is incredible. The one and only Coach Brown, Bay High School football. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. How you doing this morning?
We're doing good. How about yourself?
We couldn't be doing better because Arnold won last night. We're making sure Glenn heard that. Anyway, he just pointed the gun at me. I'm going to shut up. Hey, talk to us about spring football. How's it going over there?
Man, it's going good. The attendance has been great. The effort, the energy's been really good. It's just been outside of having to navigate around track and middle school track and all the schools in the county use our area over there for the discus and the shot put. So this time of year is kind of crazy and crowded because we're trying to have some work around that. But other than that, it's been going pretty smooth.
Well, Coach, they're going to put the javelin throw in there, so you better be moving around a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt. We're just glad we finally convinced them that not to do javelin on our practice field.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. So,
or the shot put. That used to drive me crazy.
Right.
I'm going to say, what are you doing? Get this thing and get out of here. Go get on another field.
I know it. So, but anyway, yeah, Coach, tell us about numbers. You seem to be up in numbers a little bit.
Yeah, we're averaging between 60 and 65 a day, which is really good for us, especially in the spring. We kind of took a little bit of a different philosophy this spring. We had the 65 kids. They've been actively involved in the program since January. We probably had another 15 or 20 that, Coach, the first day of practice, I'm coming out for spring, and kind of told them this year to, we're not going to let them come out for the spring. They could come to all the summer workouts, and if they made all the summer workouts, we'd let them play in the fall. Just trying to get the kids to be more invested. What I realized over the last couple of years is, those kids we let come out that hadn't done anything in the off season to come out just for the spring, they either wind up quitting or, they wind up coming for 2 days, missing a day. They're just not. They have nothing invested, and so we're gonna kind of make them invest this summer before we give them a chance to play in the fall, because we want to make sure the kids that are out there this spring are committed and bought in, and that way the reps that they're getting, we know those reps are going to benefit us next year either on the varsity or the JV.
Isn't that sign of the times that you had that in the old days? You had to be there. You didn't play in the fall. Things have just changed, and I think you have to be kind of flexible and change with a little bit, or it eats you up. But I wanted to ask you this. In the old days, I was like, you had to have spring football. Do you still feel like that's extremely important, or would you be okay with the rule changes now they have in the summertime? If it went away, would you be okay with that, or do you still want to make sure they keep it going?
Well, I think it's crucial for. Personally, I think it's still crucial for football because it's the only it's the only sport that you really can't play and practice year round. Mm-hmm. And so these 3.5 weeks in the spring, at least allow your kids to get the pads on and you can simulate a game. You know what I mean? It's, every other sport, they travel baseball and AAU basketball. I mean, they've kind of taken over because they never practice. They get to play games year round, and that's what kids want to do, and that's what it's fun. I think the thing that's changed in the spring is, I know when I was playing, the spring was, it was like make or break. They were trying to break kids. They were trying to see what kids are going to quit. I don't think you need the spring for that anymore as much as you do to, work on your football specific stuff. Try to simulate as many game type situations and practice that you can, but not make it like a mini boot camp. I think those days are definitely over.
Yeah. What about? I'm sorry, Glenn. What about all the changes, all the transfers and things like that? This past year, you got it done. You won a championship. You made the state playoffs. That's a goal. Can you take it to the next level with this team? And what are you hearing for as a county? Kids transferring out. Who's on the word on the street? Who's going to be pretty good in football in Bay County next year?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think we've we're returning almost all of our skill guys. So we're excited about that. We think both quarterbacks are coming back, so we feel like we got a chance to maybe take that next step and not just win the district again, but be able to have a good enough record to get a home playoff game. We kind of, as best as we've got it figured out, the best we can with the state and the formula and the wins and losses and all that to be able to host. We think we got to win. You got to win 7 games, and if you win your district, you win 7 games. Doesn't matter who those 7 games are against, you'll probably host. As far as in the county, who's gonna be dominant, I think everybody's gonna be pretty competitive with each other. I don't know that there's one team that's just head and shoulders above anybody else. And but we're just kind of worrying about Bay High. We're kind of just trying to coach our kids and love on our kids and get through the spring healthy and be able to, we had some spring goals that we wanted to achieve, and we're on track to achieve those, and hopefully over the next 2.5 weeks we can stay on that track.
Yeah, Coach, this is your old boss talking, but I was going to ask you about how the rule is for them to transfer in the summer, but I came up with another thing that I want you to explain. Your motto is just bigger than football. I kind of explain what you do for that, because people need to know how that works.
Yeah, it's just, we use kind of what they call the 3D coaching model. Jeff Duke down in Orlando kind of put that together, and his son and I coached together for a bunch of years, and it's really where you talk about coaching the mind, the body, and the heart. And, research says that, most coaches spend about 70% of their time coaching the body. You know what I mean? The working out, the football, different stuff, the practice, and they don't spend a ton of time coaching the heart. And we want to our motto is bigger than football. Reverse that model. Try to spend 60 to 70% of our time, even up into 80% of our time coaching the kid's heart. We feel like if a kid's, if he's acting right in class, he's respecting adults, and he's just being a good person, a good individual, focusing on those things, that the football will take care of itself. And then this year, just all season, we've kind of added in the motto of takes no talent. And in the process of coaching the heart, trying to get the guys to understand that they can be great in life if they'll get great at the things that you don't have to be real talented to do. You know what I mean? And we talk about you don't have to be real talented to be on time. You don't have to be talented to be respectful. You don't have to be talented to follow the rules. You don't have to be, you don't have to be talented to play with great effort. You don't have to be talented to keep your locker clean, pick up the trash off your table in the lunchroom, like things like that'll help them, not only transcend to the field, it'll help them be a better football player, but it'll help them be a better husband and a better dad. And we know the biggest epidemic in America is fatherless homes, and so we want to make sure when our guys leave the program that they understand the value of being a great husband and being a great dad and being there for their kids and their wife and their families.
Yeah, Coach, that's true. Do you have in Tennessee they have a dead period in the summer? Do you have that, or y'all can just keep going?
No, we that's one of the beauties of Florida. We don't have a dead period. We just in the summer we can't put on pads or helmets unless we're going to a team camp, which is something we're doing this summer that we haven't done in the past. We're actually going up to Coffee County, Georgia. Coach Cole, who used to be over at Madison, is a good friend of mine, and they're hosting a 2-day padded team camp. And so and after July 4th, late July, we're going to go over there for a couple of days and actually spend the night and take air mattresses and sleep inside their indoor facility and practice, get a bunch of reps that evening, and the next morning and then come home. And so we're excited just to kind of get our kids out of Panama City and be able to do some football, but more than anything else, pour into them, coach their heart, love on them a little bit, let them get away and bond. We're pretty excited about that.
Coach, I want to ask you this. To me, 3 things. You got to have talent, you got to stay injury-free, and you got to have a schedule that you can work with. And one thing you don't have is a schedule that's easy. You got a very difficult schedule. It helped you get ready for the district games. It helped you get the playoffs. Is the schedule going to be the exact same thing as past year, this coming up here?
Yes, sir. It's going to be we're on the second end of our 2-year contract. The beautiful thing about this year is we only leave Panama City twice.
Wow.
We're in town all of our games. You know, even though we're playing North Bay Haven at North Bay Haven, we're going to Bozeman, but we're not actually leaving Panama City. So when you talk about, you know, calls, charter buses and stuff like that, we're hoping this year not only will we make some gains on the field, but maybe we can make some gains financially, kind of recover from you know, having to go to Jacksonville last year. Hopefully we might be able to, you know, financially get ahead this year too, just because we don't have to leave town.
Yeah, people don't understand how much you being at home affects all the other clubs, like the band, the cheerleaders, you know, the people that do all the other stuff, how much they get out of that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it benefits. You know, it benefits all those. It makes you know, feel like it probably, you know, not only that, but it helps with the school spirit because, you know, the pep club, there's more home games. They don't travel to away games. So just a lot of positives for, you know, even with the fundraising, you know what I mean? Being able to go out and you're selling your ads for the Jumbotron, you know, being able to tell somebody you've got, you know, 6 or 7 home games as opposed to 3 or 4, they might be more apt to feel like it's worth it this year, maybe if it wasn't worth it for them next year or last year. So we're hoping we make some strides in that area as well.
I tell you what, you win a district championship like you just past year, your schedule will always be difficult. They don't want to play you when you're good. It's crazy. Listen, Coach, we appreciate you coming on. I know you're busy. When's the spring football games? When are they going to be played?
We're playing our spring game on May the 22nd over at South Walton. We're going to be the first game in their new stadium, so we're excited to, you know, get over there and compete against Coach Tisa. He does a great job. His kids always, you know, they always are very well coached. They play hard, so we feel like after the spring we'll have a pretty good barometer as far as where we are and what we've got to really focus on in the summer.
Coach, thank you again. Good luck to you, and we'll talk to you soon, buddy. Thank you.
All right, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, let's talk to some of our great people. Unbelievable. Dr. Ward, the legend. We'll talk to him in just a second. I cannot believe that he hired the guy from Michigan. Unbelievable. I think Ward was on the committee. We got to ask him about that. That's remarkable. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. I tell you what, Dave did such a great job with the one right here across from the Navy base. They opened another one up on 10908 Front Beach Road. Park in the back. You talking about the best happy hour anywhere is at El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Buy one, get one free, house wine, margarita, draft beer. Great place to have birthday parties. Thursday night, right across the street from the base, we packed out with all the karaoke going out. Try it out. We think you'll love it. Where am I at? Oh, yeah, Max Fit Sports Nutrition. You want to look better, feel better? Jason Kovaleski can make that happen for you. The guy is incredible. Listen, Jason, every Tuesday and Friday, the guy is incredible. We talked, you know, Jerry Resser coached him in some baseball. He was a good baseball player. He's a good quarterback. He's just a great man, a really great man. And the legendary Chad Mitchell, 26 years on Bay County sidelines this fall. Listen to him every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Any type of injury, call Chad, make an appointment. The legend will see you. We'll be right back. Glenn Manley, Brian, and Wildcat. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Dr. Ward, where are you?
The game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Line play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the man cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
Whether you're an experienced investor or first-time buyer, Beach House will provide you with top-notch service to guide you through every step of the process. We make the real estate process fun and easy through effective marketing, strategic advertising, and always a client-focused experience. From single-family homes to full-scale developments, Beach House Sales Development has you covered. Check them out at beachhousesalesfl.com or give them a call at 850-919-3500.
experience a higher level of service. David Adamson Designer Jewelry has been providing you the very best of fine jewelry and repair in Lynn Haven for over 32 years. David has added Amber Anderson and Russ Klinger, names you've known and trusted in PCB for years with your fine jewelry and watch needs. Find that one-of-a-kind engagement ring, that special anniversary gift, or something colorful just for you. Amber and Russ will find it or build it for you, serving Bay County and beyond in Lynn Haven at the corner of Ohio Avenue and 9th. David Adamson Designer Jewelry.
Visit the newly remodeled Mid-South Lumber Hardware and Feed Store in Youngstown. They have a full line of plumbing, electrical, hardware, and tools for your DIY home projects, as well as lumber and animal feed. Now offering not only baby chicks and a full line of poultry supplies, but also bunnies and parakeets. They also carry a wide selection of Duplin wines and gourmet products so you don't have to drive to the beach. Come see us at Mid-South Lumber on Highway 231 in Youngstown.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm not prepared. I really am not prepared at all. I hope you won't judge me on one email I sent 10 years ago.
My apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Live from the J. Michael Studio.
Now that's a spicy food
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, home of the Atlanta Braves, right here. Also the home of Ryan Mulvey. If you could, we'd ask you, please, he's in a tough fight right now. If you can help out in any way, we certainly appreciate it. If you go fund me, search with the search button, type in Ryan and his fight. Whatever amount you can give, we certainly appreciate it. They do take a portion of that. GoFundMe does take a portion of that. If you'd like to bring it to our studio or ESPN Northwest Florida, you can bring it over here. What's our address?
204 Suite B on Ellen Lane, just off of Navy Boulevard.
Write the check out to Ryan Mulvey. Put an envelope at Ryan Mulvey on it. Randy will make sure he gets it. We've had a lot of people give me checks. I will not accept any cash, as far as you know. Get me the check made out to Ryan Mulvey. I'll make sure he gets it. We've done a really good job getting some money up, and we might be doing this for somebody else that we love pretty soon. But anyway, let's real quick give me your little information.
Yeah, I got this from the TDC here. We have 73 youth baseball teams going to be at Public Sports Park. That is Travel Ball USA and their Mother's Day Classic. So last week soccer, this week baseball.
Good job, Richard.
Always somebody coming to town.
Next week, lacrosse.
You build it, they will come. It's like Dr. Ward. He built the hospital. They're going up there in 331. He opens up offices throughout the Panhandle of Florida. People go see the legend because they don't want to die from skin cancer. They want to be healed. Demons out. Let's bring them on right now. The one and only Dr. Ward. Doc, what's going on this morning?
Oh, it's a busy day on Back Beach Road right now, but looks like it's still moving, the traffic, so all's good. But, hey, and by the way, Brian just mentioned that Travel Ball USA tournament.
Yeah.
I'll be there. We'll be playing some baseball, so hopefully that'll be good. And I definitely wanted to give a huge shout-out. I was so impressed with the Arnold Marlins baseball team last night.
Yes. Say it again.
You know, I haven't given them as much love as they deserve this season.
That's true.
But what they did in that game was something that I had not yet seen. They were in a tough game. 5 different kids got clutch hits to either tie it and send it to another inning, or at the end of the game walk it off. So that was just a really gutty performance by Arnold, and if they take that into the state championship, they're gonna be the champion.
Doc, it was incredible. There was times you thought the game was over with, several times, and they kept fighting back, and Clay did too. They kept fighting back. But I tell you what, I will say this: I wish you'd have been there. In all my years watching a game being called, I never seen anything like that in my life. It was something else. But anyway, you know, it is the oldest school in Panama City Beach. They are going to the state championship games, and we're so proud of them. I love it. I absolutely love it. 25 years we've been waiting for something like this. And what about South Walton? Nick's ball club over there is incredible. Swanee gave them a game now. It was a good game to the end. to the end.
Absolutely. Swanee played them close both games. Again, something that they had not seen. And, Swanee got the lead in the top of the 7th, up 2-1. And they had South Walton had their backs against the wall with 2 outs. But luckily for them, the next batter up was Coleman Borthwick. And as he has done time and time again, he fouls off the first one and then sends the second one over the left field fence to walk it off with a 4-2 win. Just what an incredible player he is, and he has stepped up for that team time and time again.
Doc, they moved the state playoff series, not this coming up Monday, but the following, which is the same week that the SEC tournament starts. So I was wanting to go to Fort Myers to watch the game. I got all these plans to go up and 2 things. I go to the Foley, Alabama on, I think, Tuesday night or Wednesday night, and then we're heading on up to Birmingham to watch some baseball. So I hate it. I'm not going to be able to go to that game, but we got to help them out. We're going to try to help out South Walton financially and Arnold to get down to Fort Myers. So if people out there listening, they want to go by those 2 schools and drop off $20, $5, $100, whatever you can do, they certainly appreciate it. Just go to school and say this is for their baseball program. Make sure they get it. Doc, I wanted to ask you, tell everybody again one more time, where are you located? Where are your offices at? Glenn wants to count them off.
Absolutely. Well, if you've got anything that you're concerned about on your skin, something that doesn't look right or feel right, give us a call at 233-3376. You can see us at one of our 8 area convenient locations in Port St. Joe, Panama City Beach, Watersound, Santa Rosa Beach, Bonifay, Defuniak Springs, or Mariana.
And I moved my appointment back, I think, a week later with you because we're going to be in Hoover. We're not going to be able to see you.
He's really waiting to have some kind of a yard sale going on so he can get some money for
One of those high-maintenance patients there. I got to change my schedule, Doc. You just work everything around me.
When he sees me, his hand, he gets tired, all the zipping and zapping he does to me. It's unbelievable.
I think dollar signs go off, too.
I will say this. At Southwest Florida, they got some good doctors down there, but this guy is incredible. I got cut on down there. It's like getting shot, numbed up. They put you outside. They forget about you. Dr. Ward, they do an incredible job. They got it. It's like all the people that work there are outstanding. They treat you really well, and they do an incredible. Doc, you do a great job. You really, truly do.
It's fantastic. They put the hospital there because that was needed there for a long time.
As good as you do, I thought maybe you'd graduate from Southern Mississippi, not Florida. But anyway. All right. Hey, we got to give some more love. What about all these other teams around here? Holmes County, Port St. Joe. They're all going to play for a state championship. That's incredible. That's crazy. The baseball up here is unbelievable.
We are blessed with great baseball in general, and this year in particular, just a fantastic season for so many teams, and even Bozeman that lost. They're playing against a team that's given scholarships to players, and they go there and they almost win. It was that team too deserves a lot of credit for having a great season.
All right, speaking of credit, I'm disappointed in my Gators trustees. Is it a done deal? This guy from Michigan? No, I'm kind of harassing Michigan in a way, but seriously, all the troubles they've had in football, all the scandals and everything like that. He was the president when this was going on, and there's some. If you look into him, there's some other issues with him, I think. But anyway, I'm sure he's great. I think he's getting raised, but. Is it a done deal? He's coming to Florida. Has there been any pushback? Have you heard anything?
So the Board of Trustees named one finalist. He's the only finalist, but after that got announced, there is tremendous pushback from Gator Nation and a lot of the conservatives across the state, because this guy is a total leftist. He believes in DEI. He thinks climate change is an existential threat, and that's not even talk about all the scandals that went on at University of Michigan while he was president. You look at the issue with the football program. You look at the largest data student information data breach in the history of American universities.
Yeah.
And the University of Michigan is in a class action lawsuit over that. I'm just like, if this is not the kind of nomination with that board of trustees that you cannot tank, I think there is a huge movement underway at the University of Florida right now to basically tell the board of trustees that they're a bunch of idiots, that they're going the wrong direction. And honestly, I think there will be a reckoning over this. The board of trustees are all appointed by people who have to listen to the public. And I think some of these people who thought they were untouchable and that they had so much money that they could do whatever they want, I think you'll see a lot of these people not get reappointed to the board, and you'll get people who actually care about, academic freedom and clean, running a university clean. I'll be shocked if he actually becomes the president of the University of Florida.
Yeah, and Doc, I'll be honest, I was thinking the exact same thing you said. I said, with the football scandal, the breach of the computers and all that thing, that guy that did all that, even though he's not the athletic director, he's the president of the university, and he's really in charge of everything that goes on at that school. And at Florida, I was surprised that he was even mentioned for that, to be honest with you, because of all the scandals of Harbaugh and all those things that were going on. That made national news. Everybody knew about it. And I'm with you. I was kind of surprised at that.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's the equivalent when no Gators wanted Mike White to be the basketball coach, and then Georgia hires him. Dude, Michigan was going to can that guy. Like, it's not like Florida's out there saying, "Oh, look, we took Michigan's president. That's how good we are." No, Michigan was going to get rid of that guy.
Yeah. Well, Doc, hold on. We're going to come back with you and finish up with you in the next segment. Right now, we want to talk about skin cancer. Seriously, I tell them all the time. Breast cancer affects my family, my wife. You worry about your daughter. You worry about your family and friends. And then skin cancer. There's two things that women really got to pay attention to. Talk about that. What can we do to help prevent it? And then what do we do if we have to deal with it?
Well, again, prevention is key, so don't use tanning beds. They're horrible. If you're going to be outside and you've got your skin exposed, you want to put sunscreen on and reapply. Get the water and the towel off. You're wiping all the sunscreen off, so put more on. And then again, if you've got a spot and you don't like the way it looks or it's changing, so easy to get checked out, because if caught early, skin cancer is so easy to treat. But if it's not caught early, it can be deadly. So you got to come get checked, and it's so easy to do. 5 minutes to get looked at head to toe. And it's recommended that people get screened. So even if you haven't seen a spot and you haven't been looked at in a year, you need to get in and get checked out.
Don't forget today, the legendary J. Michael's Restaurant. Only on Wednesdays, the world-famous J. Michael's Spaghetti. It's that good. It's incredible. We've packed out lunch and dinner. Come sit with us and come on and say hello to us. Maybe LSU Jeff will be there. I hope so. What a wonderful man. Also, Beef O'Brady's Lynn Haven. They got their great special day, 10 wings inside for $9.99. Beef O'Brady's Lynn Haven. The key word there is Lynn Haven. Steve's Bike Shop is incredible. My wife took her bike there. We have not had one issue since Steve's people worked on it, did a great job. He's been serving Bay County since 1979. He's also an outstanding swim coach. These electrical bikes are taking over the world. They're all over Bay Point. You got to watch out, they run over you. Those things can fly, too. If you love electrical bikes, go check him out. He's got a large selection. He's got the old standard bikes. He's got it all. They repair both types. The guy is incredible. Steve's Bike Shop right across the street from Sam's. Also, don't forget about the... That was rude.
He can play off the stage.
I will just shut up. I won't say another word for that.
Wow, that's all it takes.
Yeah, forget this. We'll be right back with the legend, Dr. Ward, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
The gift that keeps on giving is James Harden. And, when you look at the regular season, James Harden, I think 22 points, 8 assists. We like the Clippers. People thought, you got a healthy Kawhi Leonard. Okay, they can do some damage. And once again, James Harden in a Game 7 is a no-show.
It's the Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Wednesday. A possibility of thunderstorms and mostly cloudy this afternoon and evening with a wind coming out of the south-southwest around 8 miles per hour and a high of 81. Tonight, look for light sprinkles and mostly clouds with a temperature near 73. Tomorrow, a high around 78 and mostly clouds in the morning, followed by a likelihood of thunderstorms. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? We can typically replace them while you wait. Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? In many cases, we can have it back to you the next day. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, just south of Tractor Supply. The best place in town to take a leak.
He's a beacon of light to many and an inspiration to all.
These men need inspiration.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels studio.
They're motivated by Vicodin and road skank.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. And with the one and only Dr. Ward, skin cancer can be deadly. 5 minutes can save your life. If it doesn't look right, feel right, Lynn, I got to take you. We got to get you to see Dr. Ward. Locations throughout the Panhandle of Florida. You're listening right now. I guarantee you there's an office near you. The guy is incredible. We got him on the phone right now. Doc, it's incredible. South Walton State Championship Series, they made it. The Arnold Marlins, Port St. Joe, Holmes County, proud of all those teams around here. Unbelievable season. And like you said, Bozeman, they had it, and it gets kind of slipped away from. Patton is a public school state champ. Public school state champ, Bozeman. All right, Doc. Todd Golden, he's a kid. I mean, he's 39 years old. He's a multi-millionaire now. He's going to make $40.5 million, $6.75 million per season. His new contract's going to run through 2031. Last year, when they went on the road and beat Auburn at Auburn and Alabama at Alabama, I said, this is the national championship team, and they did. I got that right. I got Ohio State. I picked him in August to win it all. They got it right. I got Arnold winning it all. I got South Walton winning it all. 36-4. My question to you, are you happy with his contract? Do you think it's too much? You think it's about right? He won the national championship. What's your take on this extended contract?
I think it's just right, man. I mean, he'll be the number 2 highest paid coach in the SEC, and I believe he's one of only 2 coaches in the SEC with a national championship. So, I mean, it seems about right to me. And, you know, locking in a young coach that's had success for that period of time is so important because, you know, you don't want him looking for other opportunities. And you know, he's proven that he can go into the transfer portal, identify talent, and put a team together in a short period of time that can play well together. And that's kind of, I mean, look at all those Kentucky teams where they brought all of these, you know, freshman studs in, and you know, everyone talked about how good they were going to be, and then they ended up, you know, flaming out. You know, chemistry in basketball is so important, and it seems like he's got the secret sauce because, you know, he you know, even last year, he did well. You know, he got us to the tournament. We lost that game against Colorado, but you know, he's proven year over year improvement, and then, you know, taking this team to the national title. I think he deserved to get paid, and I have no problem with him getting paid.
Sounds good. Glenn, you got anything?
Well, no, the other thing, too, his recruiting seems to be picking up. Once you get into that area where you're in the top of the SEC and then you make the playoffs, now the national champions, your recruiting should be picking up really where you can choose the ones you want.
Absolutely. And I think he's at that stage right now. Hey, Doc, there's 5 coaches right now in college which is incredible. We're talking basketball, making over $6 million a year. My question to you, you saw Coach Spurrier, the legend. I mean, the guy was incredible. There's so much pressure to win at Florida, to keep feeding the beast. You got to keep feeding it. He's won the national championship. He's 39 years old. My question to you, will he be here 10 years from now? Can he survive that for 10 years at Florida?
Well, the nice thing is, as a basketball coach, it's a little different from being the football coach. I mean, look, we kept Mike White there for, 7-8 years and, you know, didn't have a Final Four trip to show for it. I mean, I think he went once. Actually, no, that was not him. I think he made it Sweet 16 one year. So, you know, as long as we keep making the tournament, you know, every other year have a team that maybe makes a deep run, you know, every 10 years win a title, you know, I think the Florida fans will be happy with them.
All right. Let's switch gears. College football. I love it. All these different things are coming out, and I like reporting them. I love this kind of stuff. USA Today, which doesn't mean anything. USA Today, SEC win predictions. Here we go. Florida Gators. We saw one poll that came out. Joe Flacco had the Florida Gators preseason number 13 in the country. I saw some of them were ranked 10th in the country. I do think the Florida Gators are back. Here's what they predict for the Florida Gators. Florida Gators will go 8-4. They're going to lose 4 games. Here are the teams they're going to lose to. They will lose to LSU. They're going to lose to the Georgia Bulldogs. They're going to lose, I think they're at Ole Miss, and they're going to lose to Tennessee. I say hold on about that Tennessee one. Watch out for that. I think they could be 9-3. Here are the teams that Florida going to beat. Well, I don't know some of these. What is LIU?
Long Island University.
Surfside, okay. They beat
football
yeah.
powerhouse.
Yeah. So, in other words, they're playing Surfside.
Hey, they're no Mercer.
South Florida, Miami. That's one of that game. There's got one of the games they got to win. Either that one or LSU. I think they're back to back. Texas A&M, Mississippi State, Kentucky, FSU, and there was one other one.
Texas. We played Texas. I know.
Yeah. They got y'all beating Texas. Wow.
Yeah, it's at the Swamp. I'm actually going to go to that game. That's going to be an awesome game. That's
crazy. Maybe I got that. Maybe I wrote that down wrong. What do you think, though? Is 8-4? I think it's very doable. I think 9-3 is going to be it. I think they're going to go 9-3, make the playoffs.
Well, with the schedule we've got, 9-3 definitely makes the playoffs, and I think the 8-4 prediction is pretty solid. You know, we're just going to have to go and get a win that we're not expecting, and hold serve at home and win all the home games. And you know, we Georgia's a neutral game. I think Georgia is potentially beatable this year. So you know, maybe that's the win we get that we need to do. I think that at LSU is going to be really tough. You know, Tennessee, the picking to lose to Tennessee doesn't make a lot of sense, honestly, because who's their quarterback going to be?
Right.
That's a huge question mark for them, and they're an offensive football team. So if you don't have a quarterback, you know, you're going to struggle. So I think I don't think a lot of the national media has come to grips with the struggle Tennessee is going to have without a guy who is an elite level quarterback that's been with the program.
And that Georgia-Florida game, watch out. Maybe this is the year. Georgia's good. Their first units are incredible. There's no doubt about that. They got the greatest coach in college football right now, and Kirby Smart. They've got them going 11-1. The only loss they have them losing to Texas at home. We shall see about that. But I'm telling you, I think what I hear, They're just not deep. Like nobody is. Nobody's got a great backups like they've had in the past, where Alabama, Ohio State, and Georgia just had the roster just loaded. You don't see that anymore because of NIL, people transferring in, transferring out. So you're right. Georgia, I'm going to keep an eye on that one. I see how
last year, that game against Georgia, we were right in it until Lagway got injured. You know, the Lagway injury against Georgia is really what won that game for Georgia.
Yeah, I can't wait. We're getting closer and closer. Cannot wait. Week 1 football. Oh, I was going to ask you, are you going to make it to Hoover or not?
It's going to be tough. I haven't decided for sure yet, but probably not.
Let me know, because it's your time to buy lunch. Go. Hey, listen, real quick. Give everybody your locations. We got to go. Give us where you're at.
Absolutely. Come see us at one of our 8 area convenient locations in Port St. Joe, Panama City Beach, Watersound, Santa Rosa Beach, Tafuniak Springs, Bonifay, or Mariana. You call us at 233-3376. 5 minutes is all it takes to check you out head to toe, make sure your skin is healthy and cancer-free.
You just heard it from the best at what he does. This guy's incredible. If you have any issues, go see Dr. Ward. I guarantee you he'll take care of you. Thank you, Doc. We appreciate you. See you soon. Next Wednesday, okay?
Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's talk about some of our great people. I love it. Glenn loves this place. His pictures everywhere, bathroom. The local 115. It is. We don't have a Bay County Hall of Fame. This is it. This is it. I'm telling you, Kyle Vandergrift's got that thing set up. If you have played a sport, if you've been a cheerleader, band member, just about everything you can think of is covered there. It's incredible. The local 115. Go check it out. You're going to love it. The gumbo is the best you'll get anywhere. The crab cakes. I'm not exaggerating. The crab cakes are incredible.
Easy for you to say.
They've got the Tommy Oliver draft beer, which is outstanding. Yeah, you will love it. And the price doesn't keep going up. It's amazing. Whatever they say the price is, it's there. And they also got a couple other specials. When we get back, I'll tell you more about them. It's downtown historical Bay County, local 115 on Harrison Avenue. Go check it out. You'll love it. And see, they got Glenn's baby picture in there, his older picture. It's incredible. That little shot of you in the crib.
Is it etched in stone?
No.
It's funny how you can't really tell the difference.
You really can't. He hasn't changed much
Those
at all.
cameras where you had to stand still for 5 seconds?
Yeah. He did good.
The glass. They have the glass thing.
Oh, my grandbaby's just shot. Look at that. That's my
great.
grandbaby.
That's great.
And also, I got to say this about Kyle
show here.
Vandergrift. That guy, everything he touches turns gold. I love that kid. You know, his mom and daddy, you've known them forever.
Yep.
Legendary people. Legendary family. Yeah. That TK Vandy Roofing and General Contracting, they design it, they build it. Commercial, residential, and it is expanding. They are knocking out a ballpark getting contracts right now. They're the best at what they do. If you want a roof, don't even look anywhere else. And I'm going to tell you what, these insurance companies, they are ripping you off. Now, when you get to 15 years, you got to go get a new roof or they drop you. Hot water heater. If you got one that's not, I think it's 10 years, you got to get, even though there's nothing wrong with it, you got to get another one. They're going to drop you. So if you're in that situation now, you call Kyle Vandergrift, you get Vandy Roofing, they'll do an incredible job. And they don't take every penny you got. They know what they're doing. They're the best at what they do. Just like Brian's the best at what he does. Glenn's the best and Wildcat. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest. He's going to shoot me. Come on, Eugene.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. The Warriors had no bench, no depth. An old team on the road playing 6 guys because they tried to play Jonathan Kuminga twice, and you can see Steve Kerr's frustration. It doesn't work. He's like the kid at the playground none of the kids will play with.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Wednesday. A possibility of thunderstorms and mostly cloudy this afternoon and evening with a wind coming out of the south-southwest around 8 miles per hour and a high of 81. Tonight, look for light sprinkles and mostly clouds with a temperature near 73. Tomorrow, a high around 78 and mostly clouds in the morning, followed by a likelihood of thunderstorms. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
That boot store reminds you Mother's Day is just around the corner. Make it a Western Mother's Day by shopping that boot store. You'll find a huge selection of Western wear for the youngest to the oldest mother, and at prices you can afford. Gift certificates are available too, so Mom can shop for herself. That boot store open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5, Friday and Saturday, 9 till 5:30. That boot store next to Bill Bird Kia, 15th Street, Panama City. That boot store where God is good all the time.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Your biggest investment is your home. Protect it while also improving its appearance with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. We have sand, mulch, gravel, or lay-down decorative stone, all available for pickup and delivery. Discover your dream landscape with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Imagine the moment you proudly pull up to your home that you've worked so hard for, enhanced by quality mulch, decorative stones, and more. Let's make it happen today. Request a quote online at earthworkspc.com or swing by the office at 2005 Industrial Drive. Love the land you live on.
He's a 10-foot-tall, barrel-chested beast man who showers in vodka and feeds his baby shrimp scampi.
Kind of a big deal.
Please welcome.
Ain't gonna hurt.
Live and local from the J. Michaels studio, the Coach James Hale Show, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll Alabama Updates brought to you the legendary Stevenson Air Conditioning. Locals taking care of locals throughout the Panhandle of Florida. You know, Dr. Ward does an incredible job. Stevenson Air Conditioning. Jason Kovaleski had one brought in his house. He got one in his business. He swears by them. Dr. Chad Mitchell, same thing. Everything's Stevenson Air Conditioning. You have a problem, it's Stevenson Air Conditioning. Don't go national. Go local. He graduated from Mosley High School. He started a family business. They knocked a home run. They are the best at what they do. I love Stevenson Air Conditioning, and so should you. Get it serviced twice a year, right before the summer, right before winter. Save money on your power bill. You'll be glad you did. All right, this is going back to the local 115 and Kyle Vandergrift. This is another thing this young man's doing for you this Friday. Write it down on your calendar now. This Friday, between 3 and 6, get down to local 115. Your first dozen of oysters, free. And you know who's picking up the bill? TK Vandy Roofing.
James Hale.
Vandy Roofing is doing it. So make sure you get down to this Friday. We did it they had it last week.
Between what time? Because I love oysters.
Friday between 3 and 6. Yeah, I got your first dozen. I got it.
You got me covered.
Wildcat's going to be out front in a sleeping bag.
You play for the drinks. I'll get your oysters, okay?
They got tables out front. I'll be
what I liked is James said, we've had enough oysters after the first round.
That's enough. Actually, Julie and I went. She got a dozen. I got a dozen. We had a great time down there. Go check it out. Where's this at? Local 115 Harrison Avenue, downtown. Free oysters from 3 to 6. The first dozen's free. Brought to you by TK Vandy and Roofing and Contracting.
If you want to see some of their work, they're doing a roof on the church right there on Beck Avenue, right across from Enzo. So you can see its quality. It looks fantastic.
Absolutely. You can't say enough good things about it. I tell you what, Coach Patton, I love you. Man, he is the best. No doubt about it. They gave it all they had. They are the state championship of public schools. He just kind of heard us. He said, appreciate what you said. He talked about their kids. We're going to talk to him Friday morning. I was going to try to get him on now, but he's over in Tallahassee for taking care of some personal issues. But anyway, they fought. They never gave up. They never gave in. That kid crushed the ball at the very end of the game that cost them. But they were right there, man. They're incredible. Can't say enough good things about Bozeman High School. All right, let's get into the Alabama Crimson Tide, brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. USA Today, this is what they're predicting for Alabama. This is not going to make you Bama fans very happy. And I think it puts him really on the hot seat, especially if one of the four is to Auburn and Georgia and LSU or Tennessee. Here we go. Alabama 2024, Alabama goes 9-4, 5-3 in the SEC. This year, the experts from USA Today, after spring, post-spring practice, after all the transfers, which Bama didn't lose one scholarship player leaving Bama, that's a great sign. But Alabama will win 9 football games in 2025. Alabama will beat, Glenn, listen to this.
I'm listening.
They will beat your Florida State Seminoles, according to them. They're going to beat Monroe. They're going to beat Wisconsin. They're going to get revenge on Vandy at home. They're going to beat Missouri on the road. They will beat Tennessee at home. They're going to get a revenge game against Oklahoma at home. They're going to give the powerhouse Eastern Illinois. They're going to beat them. And then I'm telling you now, I don't agree with this one. If Auburn has the year I think they're going to have, this ain't going to happen. They got Alabama beating Auburn the last game of the season, which could save him.
Where's that being played?
At Auburn. Good luck with that.
Ooh,
It ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen.
Well, they're going to be beat down from the battle against Eastern Illinois.
I was thinking the exact same. That's a physical. I'm glad you brought that up, Brian. Physical football team. People don't know much about them. They're outstanding, as far as you know. But if they beat Auburn
again, they're no Mercer.
This could say if they go 9-4, they beat Auburn, they win a bowl game, they wind up 10-4. He's going to be in the hot seat. It won't be as bad. It's going to get ugly. 9 wins, no playoff. It's going to get ugly in Tuscaloosa. Wait and see. You think it's bad at Auburn when they lose? It's even worse in Tuscaloosa. Here are the teams that are projected to beat Alabama. LSU will go into Bryant-Denny Stadium. They will beat the Alabama Crimson Tide. LSU's going to have a really good ball club this year, no doubt. The quarterback's back. They're loaded across the Kelly say they're going to win it all. We'll see. At South Carolina gave Alabama everything they had. Alabama was fortunate to win that ball game in Tuscaloosa. They go on the road where we don't play as well. Spurrier beat us there when we had one of the best teams we ever had. That year we lost 3 games. That was 2010. But South Carolina is going to beat Alabama at home, at their place. Then Alabama goes on the road. Kirby's waiting for you. You embarrassed him last year, jumped up on him, embarrassed their defense the first half. Georgia's going to be ready. Georgia, they won't do a blackout either like they did last time. Georgia takes care of business. They beat the Alabama Crimson Tide. But that's 3 losses. I don't know where the other one is. I didn't write it down. Who could it be the other game they lose to? I didn't write it down.
Vanderbilt.
Eastern Illinois. Powerhouse.
No, they got them winning. There was one other game they lost to. I can't remember who it was.
Vanderbilt.
I'll be honest, their schedule sets up generally pretty good this year. Now, there's one, the one game, now, see, remember, this year we got the 2 weeks off. So they get a week off before Georgia, which is good, but you're going to Athens, so that'll be rough. The game that's probably the toughest.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, I said 9-3. I was right. That's 3. Go ahead. I'm
sorry. That's all right. You can't count. Thank
you very much.
There is a stretch where you go Vandy at home, Missouri on the road, Tennessee at home, and South Carolina. There's 5 games. So it starts with Georgia. There's 5 games in a row, and you're coming out of the big rivalry game with Tennessee that I think they're going to win at home. Then you go on the road to South Carolina with a good returning quarterback. That's the one that could trip them because Alabama always struggles in that last game before the break.
That's what they're saying.
I think they'll beat LSU at home after a week off. I think they're going to – I think DeBoer learned a lot about the SEC last year because if you look, all the big games he had to get up for, they played well.
Yeah.
What he didn't do very well was prepare for the games that they're supposed to win, which he didn't have to do in the Pac-10. So Vandy, Oklahoma, games like that. So you look at this. I think he's learned that. I think he's going to pay Oklahoma back big time. The Auburn one is always a wild card, but to me, I think they lose Georgia. There's a chance they lose at South Carolina. I'd be honest with you. I know I'm a homer. I would say 10-2. I really like their schedule this year.
It needs to be 10-2. It does. Now, the offensive coordinator they got, that's a big plus. They got 8 guys back on defense. Womack adjusts his defense pretty well.
The bit about nobody transferring out, I think is way bigger than anybody realizes.
Ohio State had the same thing. They kept their best
all
players.
Those players, that means, are bought in and ready to play.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think you're right on that. Yeah. So 9-4, 9-3 is not going to get it done. He's got the key number is at least 10 wins. He's got to make the playoffs, or it's going to get ugly there. They got the other teams. We don't have time. We got some of the other predictions. We'll do this either at a later date. And Glenn, we get back. We got to hit on FSU, and if we have time, I'll get into the Auburn what they're predicted to do. And this is not going to make Auburn people happy. Some of I think they're wrong. I think USA is wrong on Auburn. I think Auburn's going to have a really good year. I truly do. If not, I really think they will be a new football game. You cannot go 3 years in a row at Auburn losing. You can't. You can't do it at Alabama either. All right, let's talk about our Alabama Update sponsor, and that's Jason Stevenson Air Conditioning. Love them. They're incredible. If you have any problems, day or night, you call Stevenson Air Conditioning. Let's let the locals take care of locals in Bay County. Also, again, today and the day only, the world-famous J. Michael's Restaurant, J. Michael's world-famous spaghetti. Go check it out. You'll see Jimmy Petronas in there, the Petronas family. Everybody goes there on Wednesday, seems like. Great food, great atmosphere. I'm hoping that the legendary Glenn Manley will be there signing autographs. I left my billfold. Glenn, I hope you're there. Brian, you're going to be there, right?
I believe so.
Okay. Go check it out. We think you'll love it. Don't forget about Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Jason Kovaleski. Try it before you buy it. The guy's incredible. All kind of, they've got help you sleep, help your cholesterol, just make you feel better, look better, bigger, stronger, faster. It's Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Newbies, 4 great, wonderful locations. John and Charlotte, love them. They do an incredible job there. Dr. Chad Mitchell, 26 years on Bay County sidelines. Listen to Chad every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Steve's Bike Shop, Local 115. Turpro Pest Control. Patrick does such a wonderful job. Listen to him every Monday, 8:30, right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Wildcat, did I tell you that Arnold is going to the state championship in baseball?
I believe I heard that rumor.
Yeah, we're going to talk more about that. We don't talk enough about it. Blair, great job. Moss, great job. All you, I wish I had the roster right now. I'd do every one of them. Great game. And Steve Moss, good job calling the game. I love the commentary about the officials. It was incredible. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Let's go to Dwayne up next. Hey, I want to know why Alabama, all y'all Alabama fans and stuff, then sued the NFL to send Jalen Milroe up there. Everybody in the world knows Jalen Milroe was no first-round pick.
This is hard for some people to believe. You actually have to have grounds for a lawsuit.
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Wednesday. A possibility of thunderstorms and mostly cloudy this afternoon and evening with a wind coming out of the south-southwest around 8 miles per hour and a high of 81. Tonight, look for light sprinkles and mostly clouds with a temperature near 73. Tomorrow, a high around 78 and mostly clouds in the morning, followed by a likelihood of thunderstorms. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Take your next adventure at an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Discover the new Kia. We invite you to stop by Bill Bird Kia and test drive the new 2025 Kia. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The 2025 Kia SUV family has movement that inspires. Drive away today in a new 2025 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. Fuel the thrill and command the road in the luxury of a 2025 Kia K5 sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Performance, power, and design built for you. Spark inspiration in the all-electric 2025 EV9. It's a modern masterpiece, fast charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original home for the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Your local community dealer is Bill Bird Kia.
He doesn't try on clothes at the department stores. He just rips stuff off the hanger and lives with the consequences for years.
It's classy, it's intriguing.
He's sexy, sassy, and full of spunk.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Oh, wrong Hey, I didn't get my bed.
Why does anyone listen to the show?
It's amazing. I didn't get to bed till 11. I'm usually in bed at 9.
I thought he was doing the Mississippi State.
Well, see, on Wednesdays,
you heard it a lot this past weekend.
On Wednesdays, we do the FSU because we cut short Auburn. But today that we got this amazing phone caller, we'll cut out Auburn and do FSU. Now, Beef O'Brady's Lynn Haven today. Get out there. If you're in Lynn Haven, go have it and have a great time. Go see Russ and Amber. Gets you some great jewelry. But they got 10 wings inside for $9.99. If you're going to have a great time, you go to the Miss Newbies. Go have a great time with John and Charlotte. Newbies to the Curb, watch all sporting events, go down to the Mothership, have a great time. Glenn, FSU, you told me something about a baseball player. Michigan Eddie, I want you to come on with us right now, but I want you to listen to what this young man did at Florida State. This is incredible. Listen to this, Michigan Eddie. Go ahead.
All right. May the 9th is really called the Marshall McDougal Day. 25 years ago, on the Sunday, he went 7 for 7 with 6 home runs and a base hit against Maryland. There's 25 total bases. Those are all records.
Say that again. 7 times at bat.
Yeah, 6 home runs and 25 total bases. And the night before that, his last at bat, he hit a home run. So then he went 12 for 15 during the series, 7 home runs, 3 doubles, and 2 singles. So he batted 800.
Jeez.
Let me ask you something.
He had a cheat code.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Was Michigan Eddie coaching for Maryland at that time? If the guy could hit like that, would you not pitch to him?
You'll know if you're around Orlando because he's the head baseball coach at Wiregrass Ranch High School.
Oh.
So
Okay.
he's been there since 2014.
Wow.
But, yeah, they brought that up last night.
That's
I was watching
incredible,
FSU play.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
6 home runs, up to bat 7 times, 6 home runs.
Right.
Let's just bring him on. The people's caller, the legendary, the one we love, the unbelievable, the incredible Michigan Eddie. Good morning, sir.
Go Blues, right there. Hey, I got to sing praises to Doc Mitchell, man. He is just the best. And he's helping Eddie out and getting Eddie right. And Doc Mitchell, if you're listening, brother, love you, man. You're more than just a doc. You're a family Christian brother, man, and love you, man. And you're the best. He is the best. I mean, he's the best, man. All you callers out there, if you have any issues with knee or whatever, or orthopedic crap, you can go see Doc Mitchell, man. He'll get you right. And he's just the best, man. And whenever I'm talking. Whenever little Eddie has a problem, I'll call him up at a tournament or something, get his advice, and he's always there for us, man. I mean, it's not just some doctors you call, they'll never call you back. They won't answer the phone calls and all that. Doc Mitchell's always there, man. He's the best, man. He takes that medical ethos serious, and he's the best, man. So I just want to say that.
So James, did you hear that? So now when you're talking about Doc Mitchell, make sure you work in for any of your needs and orthopedic crap.
I heard that. We had a
perfect tagline. I love it.
Cheryl Otter grew up with me in Montgomery. She heard about Chad. She had an injury.
Yeah.
She said, "Can you get me in with him?" And we made it happen. And she operated. And she goes, "This guy's incredible." And everything Michigan Eddie said is 100% correct.
Fantastic.
Agreed.
26 years. He gives up his weekends for Bay County athletes. The legendary Chad Mitchell. Oh, my goodness. Unbelievable. Hey, what do you think, Michigan Eddie? All these great baseball teams around here.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I'm happy for Arnold, happy for Eli and Cooper and the Arnold baseball team. Eddie trains with Coach Ethan, who trains Cooper and Eli, and all that. So I'm happy for them. So congrats to those kids. I remember back in the day, I met Cooper at Frank Brown. He was like 6th, 7th grade, and just started talking because Eddie was having a session or something, and met him. Real nice young man, and I see Eli at the training session and all that. Happy for them, and hopefully Arnold will bring it home. Hopefully they'll get it done.
Eli and Coop are 2 outstanding first-class young men, highly intelligent, wonderful people, wonderful families. And I'm going to tell you what, you could tell that whole baseball team's that way. First-class kids. I know a lot of those parents, wonderful people. They're a special group, and they're having a special year. Talent only takes you so far. To win a state championship, you got to have something special about you, and I think this team does. South Walton, I think, is in the same boat. Who knows? We might even get Port St. Joe, Holmes County. Who knows who's going to win this state championship? I hope we get all of them to do it.
You just got to save the arms, though, of the pitching and all that.
Absolutely.
Make sure the pitching
Save the
matchups are
arms.
right and all that. And it's really the coach really got to do a lot of strategy with saving the arms and all that, because that's what they say the legendary coach Mike Martin, at FSU, the reason why he didn't win any College World Series is that he wore out his pitcher's arms during the regular season, and by the time they got to the College World Series, their arms were dead. and that's what did them in.
Speaking of coach, Glenn, what else you got for FSU?
Well, the baseball team is ranked number 2. Depending on which poll you're in. So, like the Baseball America, they're ranked number 7. And then USA Today, they're ranked 3. And then in the Perfect Game, they're ranked 9th. So, it just depends on who you're doing. But right now, they're 34-10. They're number 1 in the ACC with 14-7. Last night, they beat Jacksonville University 14-2. That's their third game in a row. They've had the run rule on somebody. The best one was Clemson. They beat Clemson 20-9 last weekend. They will travel to California to play Cal Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then they will come back, have a weekly game, but then they have a big series going into North Carolina to end the season. They will be in the top 4, so they'll have a double bye. Their first game won't be in the tournament won't be till Thursday, May the 22nd. That they have a double bye in the ACC. The softball team is ranked number 3 in the nation. They were 44-8, number 1 in the ACC, 18-3, and they play Thursday in the second round of the tournament. They will play the winner of Georgia Tech or California at 11 o'clock on ESPN and ACC Network, May the 8th. And in football, Norvell has got his alma mater on the schedule for 2026, the University of Central Arkansas. He played there from 2001 to 2005. He's a school record for receptions, 213 receptions, 2,600 yards, 15 touchdowns. They were the 2005 conference champions, and they were in the Division II quarterfinals. They will pay a whopping $450,000 for them to show up. And then also there'll be a first meeting ever, so we'll get into that. And then with their recruiting and everything they've done, the last 3 or 4 people they picked up were people that have experience, and what they're trying to do is bolster people that have experience and also will be good in the locker room to help with all that. So without getting into all the specifics and everything they've done, that Jalen King came from ETSU, the quarterback. Gavin Sawchuk, he's from Oklahoma, running back. Wide receiver Gavin Blackwell from UNC, and then offensive lineman Josh Raymond and Jalise Matthews. He's from Rutgers. But those 2 guys were actually on Herbert Hand's targets before he moved to FSU, so he knows about those guys. So those are the ones that will
Great
be
job.
helping you.
Great job. I cannot wait to college football. Alabama, FSU, week 1. And the only negative, you go to that ball game, there's so many great games week 1. You got Oklahoma, Michigan. You got Texas, Ohio State. You got Auburn, Baylor. I don't know. Julie wants to go, but I'm leaning towards staying home and watching all the games or down at the Cajun place.
Put them on your TV. Have all 4 screens going on.
Yeah, you can do that now. So that's what I'm thinking about doing.
The thing, I just hope for Coach Corso that they ended at FSU.
I think it's going to be Ohio State.
I do too. But
I do.
He was Burt Reynolds' roommate, and they actually played together. So
that would be cool if they did it Florida State for him, his last game.
Right.
I don't think it's going to happen. Michigan Eddie, I want to ask you something. Would you? I know you love Michigan, and you should. They're a great program, no doubt about that.
Is FSU Stadium done now?
Yeah. It's going to be ready.
Okay.
It'll be ready.
Okay. Right.
Well, what you think on what would you do? Would you rather go to watch a big Michigan game, even though you'd miss out all these other games, or would you rather stay home and watch them all?
Oh, what kind of question is that? I would go to the big house, bro. Most definitely. There's nothing like going to the big house watching a Michigan football game. Nothing like it. That is a no-brainer.
No-brainer. Okay.
Well, that's because you sit in that bowl and watch the wind swirl around.
Okay. All right. I asked a simple question. I try to be nice. My teacher told me, he said, "There's not such thing as a dumb question."
No, but
he said
until now.
He said it was no brainer. He made me feel like I was
when you said.
By the way, Coach, when you asked Dr. Ward to buy you lunch, that reminds me of when I used to take Eris to college in Hilton Head. So if you go from Jacksonville up to Savannah to Hilton on 95, you go into Georgia.
Yeah.
They have a gas station called El Cheapo. And that reminds you are El Cheapo. Asking Dr. Ward to buy you lunch at Hoover. El Cheapo. That's you, Coach. Anyway, go ahead.
My heart is hurting.
I've always watched them when they run out and touch the Big M and all that stuff, all the pageantry there. That's fantastic.
You don't need someone to buy you lunch in Hoover. You get one of them press passes.
Right.
You'll eat all that ice cream, and you'll end up cheering for the wrong team again.
I miss half the game. Yeah.
And then
That
you got
could
your
never
daughter.
happen.
You got your daughter that can hook you up too up there.
I'll tell you what, they take care of that press box food.
Oh,
is
it's so
incredible.
good.
My goodness, they are incredible. I can't say enough good things about Hoover. Hey, where is the SEC softball tournament being played? In Georgia, Athens? I think it's at Georgia.
I don't know.
And now, I hope it never leaves Hoover. I hope it never leaves here. It's outstanding. Hey, Miss Gay, before we let you go, even though you've been rude to me, how do you feel? You feeling okay? Is there anything we can do financially or any other way we can fundraise or anything we can do to help you out? Are you okay?
No, I'm good. Just go in July for my pet scan, so it's all good. I'm going to work.
All right, man.
Thank you, though.
I pray for you every single night.
I'll say it for Eddie. You want to help Eddie out? Go buy his cards on eBay.
Yeah, there you go.
That is right.
We can do
He's
that.
got good stuff up there.
Thank you, Brian.
There you go.
Hey, and I'm thinking about that V Friends whatever thing, and I got some garbage pail kids trying to hit that Ellie and Jackson Churio that I need for Deanna. So I bought a couple of those the other day. So yeah, I mean, if you go on cars, just contact me and cut out the eBay overhead crap because they're a bunch of shysters, and then just contact me and I'll give you the ESPN family deal, man.
Dude, everybody's catching strays today, so.
Yeah.
No, Coach, eBay is not one of your sponsors. No.
I didn't know what he said. Okay, unbelievable. I about fainted. I thought you named something else, another company. I was about to faint. Anyway.
No, I know. I go to all your sponsors, Coach, because all your sponsors are real and they're genuine. And they treat you like family, man.
That is true.
So that's why we go. If you sponsor the Coach James Hale show, I know you're true and legit, and Michigan Canadian family will go and partake in your businesses. Like David Adamson, Paparazzi, Jay Michaels,
keep going,
Bobby, all that. El Rodeo.
Steve's Bike Shop, Local 115, T. Vandy Roofing, Turpro Pest Control,
Beef O'Brady's.
Beef O'Brady's. We've been
David Adamson. Russ and Amber.
I'm sorry, Eddie. He won't let you talk.
Glenn and Manley. Hey, listen, we love you. We got to take a break. Call us tomorrow if you get a chance. Love you, brother. Thank you.
Bye.
The people's choice.
Yeah. God,
You're not kidding. You did look like you had a heart attack.
Well, you know what I thought. Yeah, you know what I thought. All right, we'll be right back. He just did the commercials for us. We'll be right back. 104.3. Mark McLeod, Florida Gators. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Atlanta Braves play here.
Tonight, the Atlanta Braves continue their homestand at Truist Park.
Riley charges one up, soaring high into the heavens and disappearing into the seats.
It's the Braves versus the Cincinnati Reds. First pitch, 6:15. Listen to live play-by-play and a rich audio experience on your home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Do you want to eat like a local? The Local 115 is now open. Local drinks, local sports, and local food. Delicious oysters, crab cakes, steamed seafood, gumbos, salads, paninis, wings, wine, and cold beer. Nothing fried. That's right. No fried foods at Local 115. Amazing local food with an exciting local sports and mural theme. Eat like a local at the Local 115. 115 Harrison Avenue, downtown Panama City.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Panama City Beach, get ready for something sweet. Milkshake Factory's grand opening Saturday, May 10th from noon to 4. Milkshake Factory on Back Beach at Breakfast Point Marketplace near Publix next to First Watch. Celebrate with buy one, get one free milkshakes, including our mouth-watering chocolate dip strawberry shake. The first 100 guests score a free Milkshake Factory t-shirt. Plus sign up for a chance to win free milkshakes for a year. Handcrafted milkshakes, gourmet chocolate bar, family-friendly fun. It's all happening at Milkshake Factory on Back Beach. Locally owned.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The tradition continues.
Lots of force on this one. Hello, Chop House. A 2-run homer.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels Studio.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
When you got 90,000 people all chomping at the same time.
It's the Florida Gator Update with guest Mark McLeod. Insider information you can't get anywhere else. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Go Gators! We got him every Wednesday, 8:30, the Mark McLeod. He is incredible. Before I can say Mark, I do want to, Michigan's going through some health issues like so many people we know have. Wildcats dealing with some issues. Glenn's got some mental things going on. So we want to make sure we all pray for everyone and help them as much as we can. But I just saw a picture of my beautiful daughter-in-law, Mariah Hale. I'm going to tell you what, there's not a harder worker, better mama than she is. She works. She has 3 kids she takes care of. She works her tail off. She's the best. Love her to death. And beautiful girl. Beautiful girl. Anyway, let's bring him on, the great Mark McLeod. Mark, before we get into everything going on in Florida, what's the best way people can hear from you, whatever? Give us how we can keep up with Mark McLeod.
Yeah, at McLeod Live on X, MCLEOD Live, certainly Blitz Sports Radio, and a whole lot more out there.
All right, I want to get.
Unfortunately.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, you're the best. You're incredible. You're very professional. You know what you're talking about, especially when you agree with me. All right, not Conrad, but me. All right, I want to talk to you about this, and then we'll jump into sports. We talked to Dr. Ward about it. He's not happy about it. I was kind of surprised myself. You're a Florida follower. You love sports. The president of Michigan had all those scandals up there when he was the president of Michigan. The football scandal, the stealing the signs, the breaking into computers, all this stuff that's going up in Michigan. I'll be honest with you, I was surprised when I heard his name was brought up for that position. Just curious, Dr. Ward was extremely upset about it and says he thinks it might not happen. What's your take on that? I heard he's really good sports-minded, but all the things that happened under his watch, does that not count for anything, or what?
Yeah, it's bizarre. I mean, are you telling me there aren't 25, 50 other candidates who could manage the University of Florida without everything going on at Michigan right now? It makes no sense to me whatsoever why they're doing this. But it's politics, and that's a big part of the problem, is that politics have taken root in our colleges and universities, and I think if you dig a little deeper, you'll see some of that. At least that's some of the stuff that I've seen on some of the message boards. No doubt about it, and we didn't bring that up. We stayed with the sports end, but Dr. Ward pointed out some things. I'm with you 100%. I kind of feel it's not going to happen. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. All right, I want to jump into the basketball contract. Talk about that. We had Dr. Ward on talking about it, and I said, can he survive 10 years at Florida? It's like a machine. You got to continue to feed the beast. He wins the national championship at 39 years old. Now he's a multimillionaire, $6.75 million, I think, a year. Talk about the job he's done. What do you think about the contract, and will he be there to the whole length of this contract? Well, I think he's done a terrific job, obviously, and his international contacts in terms of recruiting are phenomenal, as we've seen. It's played out for Florida. That was one of the big draws for hiring him from the University of San Francisco. As you look at what he did out there with the international players, and we see what the NBA draft has done for years with international players. So I think that was that is a big part of what's going on at the University of Florida and elsewhere. And look, he's getting a lot of guys. He's getting a lot of elite players to come visit the University of Florida and take a look at it. They like what he's doing. I think in terms of the contract, good. It definitely needed to happen. The Florida basketball is back, and it's been a while. The Mike White issues were like we talked about on your show quite a bit. It was 1 year too long, maybe 2 years too long for a lot of people. But in my mind, it was definitely 1 year too long. So I think that the 10 years thing, I don't look at any coach and say, are you going to stay 10 years?
Right,
Just in this day and age, it is insane. And the pressure cooker that is college coaching, and you guys got a taste of that last week when Nick Saban talked to Donald Trump. I mean, Kirby Smart's mentioned it time and time again. Some of the best coaches in the country have mentioned it. It's a pressure cooker out there. And the NCAA has done nothing to try and get a grasp on it. What they've done is very little, and I just think it's very, very difficult to expect any coach to stay at one destination for 10 years.
Yeah, it's incredible. I got to give that guy credit, the head basketball coach at Florida. Just think back what he went through this year. 39 years old, good-looking guy. The scandal, all the negative things were being said about him. We didn't know if he'd have a job. We didn't know if it was true, not true. Hey, it doesn't happen to you. It happens for you. Look at him now. Extended contract. He's a multimillionaire. That's incredible. He wins the national championship. Did you think preseason, I can't remember what we talked about. I really can't. But did you think they would be this good? Did you think they would really have a shot at winning a national championship?
It's funny because before the season began, I told a couple friends of mine who they like to bet. I said, go put 20 on Florida to win it all.
Wow.
And I said, I have no idea if it'll happen. I have no clue if it'll happen. I said, but they're checking in 21 in the preseason poll. That's too low. That's too low. This team should be top 15. That was my thought, that they were somewhere probably between 12 and 15. That's where I would have had them ranked. Because you look at what was coming back, and you look at the front court, you look at the back court, and you a little bit of depth, and you're going, wait a minute, why are they 21? What are people nationally seeing that we aren't seeing at Florida? It could have been the investigation. But remember, guys, that was a Title IX investigation.
Yeah.
So that was serious stuff. That's what may have maybe that crept in some of the minds of some of the voters.
There you go. All right, Mark. I do have to say this. I got to give credit where credit's due. We always do this. Glenn and I do this. We've done it for years now. Like, how many years we've been doing radio together? But he had put down on a piece of paper, and he shoved it over here, and I looked at it. He said, national champs, Florida, their record will be 36-4. That will never happen again in my lifetime. Glenn, I want to tell you, that was amazing.
The problem was he handed you that piece of paper earlier this morning.
I did.
Oh, my bad. I thought that was a long time ago. No, you thought they were going to be good. You did a good job.
Yeah, I thought they would really be good.
Yeah. You did an excellent job.
The thing that bothers me now, they won the national championship. Now he's got the expectations out there that if he just comes in and finishes second in the SEC and makes the playoffs and does all that, but doesn't win, what kind of pressure is that for him?
Look at Coach Spurrier.
All the things that has to come together for you to win it. Yeah. It's not just, okay, we got the best players, we're going to go out there nobody's going to, if you're good, now they got a target on their back. And so everybody's going to give you their best game, so you got to be ready to play that way.
Feed the beast, man. True. Feed the beast. But I will say, Glenn.
I hope Coach Manley has a piece of paper he's slipping over to you about Florida football.
He does. He has them 8. He has 4 wins, 8 losses.
No, I had them 9-3.
All right, hey, we talked about this. Let's go ahead and jump into this. How much time we got?
First, to talk about football, Coach.
2 minutes.
You got to
take a break.
If you want some good reading, Mark wrote a great article on Alabama football this past week.
Oh, we'll make time for that. Go ahead, Mark. What did you say? Hey, forget the break. I want to hear this.
Yeah, I think they're going to be good. I really do. I think. Look, bringing in Ryan Grubb is huge. You go back and you look at what DeBoer and Grubb did at Washington. Now you got a quarterback, and look, Milroe, for the good things he did at Bama, he did a lot of bad things. Things that just those those intermediate passes, you got to be kidding me. How do you miss on so many of those? And really, he kind of put the team on his shoulders and decided to run the ball a lot of times when, and the Alabama running game just wasn't the same with the backfield. Now, granted, they had some Prentice. We could talk about that. He wasn't dialed in for Alabama. He wanted the money, I think. But when you look at Alabama overall, 2 major injuries to your offensive line before the season even begins. I think if they can stay healthy, that offensive line is going to be improved, maybe much improved. You look at the wide receiver room, the starters. Goodness great, get Horton from Miami. I think Alabama is in a very good situation with Simpson because Simpson doesn't have to put the team on his shoulders. He can go out there. He's been there 3 years, so he's waited his time. He knows the system. He knows what DeBoer wants. He's finding out what Grubb wants, and I think he just can go out and kind of manage games early on. And it's really going to come down to that Alabama defense improvement. I think that offense is going to be pretty good.
Alabama's got 8 back on defense, which I like their defensive coordinator. I didn't really like that scheme, but he does mixes things up. So we'll see. We will see. We get back. We're going to talk to Mark McLeod about the SEC Saturdays Down South predictions. They got the Florida Gators going 8-4. We're going to talk to Mark about that. Baseball's going on, softball, and everything else with the great Mark McLeod. Let's take a break right now and come back and finish up with Mark. We got to remind you that J. Michael's today, only today, world-famous J. Michael's Spaghetti over in Lynn Haven. They got their great 10 wings inside for $9.99. Go check both these establishments. They're wonderful people. The legendary J. Michael's and the other legend, Pat Perno, City Commissioner. We'll be right back with Mark McLeod, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The ESPN Northwest Florida Big Bracket Challenge.
Hi, this is Dave Neat from Panama City Beach, and I just won $250 from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida playing the Big Bracket Challenge. Thank you so much to Pepsi, Panama City, Toyota, ECB Hobby for making this happen. It was a lot of fun playing against other listeners and staff. Can't wait till next year. And go Ducks!
It's ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Wednesday. A possibility of thunderstorms and mostly cloudy this afternoon and evening with a wind coming out of the south-southwest around 8 miles per hour and a high of 81. Tonight, look for light sprinkles and mostly clouds with a temperature near 73. Tomorrow, a high around 78 and mostly clouds in the morning, followed by a likelihood of thunderstorms. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now to learn more.
800-605-4650. 800-605-4650. 800-605-4650. That's 800-605-4650.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Bonafide and qualified.
Live and local from the J. Michael Studio.
Certified.
From the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. I have Mark McLeod on with me this morning. Mark, I tell you what, speaking of Florida baseball, you've got 2 studs coming. They're Florida's recruiting class. They've got some great players coming in. Last night, Blair and Moss put on a show. I'm not just talking pitching, fielding the ball. I'm talking about hitting the ball, both of them. They were incredible last night. It goes into, I wanted to say overtime, but extra innings. Arnold wins, and they now go to play for a state championship. South Walton, I don't know if you kept up with South Walton. They might have the best baseball team in any classification. They've 1 and 2 games. They're going to go play for the state championship. So it's incredible baseball up here. So the Gators are definitely going to get some help coming to them. I'm telling you now.
You stunned him into silence.
We must have lost
You
him.
there, Mark?
Nope.
Hey, we're SEC guys.
Hey, there we go.
That's muted for a minute. Yeah, and Arnold soccer. I mean, boys soccer. I mean,
God.
you know, I'm an
National
SEC guy, but
champs.
we pay attention down here. We hear what's going on up there. And, wow, what a great job on the baseball team.
Unbelievable. All right, I want to go this way and see what your thoughts are. You probably saw it. USA Today, they predict the SEC win totals. They have the Florida Gators going 8-4, 4-4 in SEC play. I'm going to go with the losses. LSU, which they got LSU and Miami back-to-back. I think they have to split that. They might get, but LSU's going to be good, guys. Georgia, I think Florida might get them this year. Ole Miss and Tennessee. Out of the 4 losses, the Tennessee game, I think Florida can. I like Florida chances against Tennessee. What do you think about the 4 losses? What's your take on that?
Yeah, I don't get the Tennessee game. That's in Gainesville. It's later in the year, so Tennessee will have a chance to develop. But they got a lot of issues right now. They got a lot of unknowns, as do a lot of SEC schools.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think the key for Florida, and you said it, splitting series. You've got LSU on the road at LSU on the road down in South Florida, which means Florida will have more fans in the stadium than Miami. We all know what that means.
Yep.
Then 2 weeks later, you've got Texas and Gainesville on the road at Texas A&M back-to-back. To me, those are the biggest games of the season for Florida right there, because they can help determine your season early on. But, you know, for Florida, it's all about keeping DJ Lagway healthy. It's all about getting and keeping some of the other guys healthy, because the secondary's been a mess this spring. It was a mess at the end of the season. But the good news is you're seeing guys step up. You've seen some guys step up and do some nice things. You've also seen a guy on the police report in Tampa. But outside of that, it's looking good in Gainesville because the depth is there. You know, he's recruited really well, used the transfer portal pretty well. I still think there may be some room to add a guy or two in the transfer portal. The one area that concerns me a little bit, interior defensive line, losing DeAndre Robinson, I felt pretty good about the room until they lost him. And now they got Brandon Bett from Baylor coming in. I think there is a real chance for Florida to go 9-3. I think 8-4 is realistic. I think 9-3 could be realistic too, provided they can stay healthy.
If they go,
and that he can have good play calling on 3rd and 4th down.
If they go 9-3, they're going to make the playoffs with that schedule. If it really matters about strength of schedule, if they go 9-3, they're in. There's no way you can keep them out with that schedule they play.
We think so. Yeah, and again, there's the SEC. Look, there's a reason national writers are only predicting 3 teams from the SEC in the college football playoff, because there are a lot of unknowns, just particularly at the quarterback position. But, you know, you look at Florida, they play LSU, they play Texas. You know what they have there at quarterback. You know, Georgia's going to be settled by then. You figure Ole Miss will have some good things to be happening down there by the time Florida plays them. But let's see what happens.
Let's go to Georgia. You brought up Georgia. You know, I'm trying to keep up and listen to everything about Kirby and talk to former coaches and people and things like that. They're not as deep, and he'll say it, they're not as deep they've been. They won't ever be as deep as they were in the past because people won't stay because of the NIL and when they want to play. So sooner or later, you know, they might – Florida. This could be the year Florida gets them. I like that. If that quarterback from Florida plays a good game, they played well against Georgia last year.
They did, up until 3.5 minutes left in the game when Aiden Warner was in, the guy from Yale who didn't play at Yale as a freshman. Because remember, Lagway went out, and that was a big part of the problem for Florida. Obviously, Florida's defense was a part of the problem, but they kind of got it together at one point of the game and then just melted down with 3:50. I think it was 3:50 left in the game. But, Georgia, Kirby said it. Kirby said, look, guys, we lost some guys in the transfer portal. But he said, guys, look at what we lost in the NFL draft. Yeah. And he said, there's a lot of changes going around here, but we feel we recruited well. Now it's our job because it's on us as coaches to get them coached up and get them ready. So we know the talent's there at Georgia, and I think it's a good move away from Carson Beck. I was not a fan of his last year going in. You guys remember that he was a little weird at SEC Media Days. I told you guys that when I brought him to the show.
You sure did.
But I said there were some weird things going on there, and that left me a little strange about that. But I think he got a little full of himself. But now he's down at Miami, so hopefully he's full of himself down there on September 20th.
Yeah, you're right. He was up and down. The first half against Alabama, you could see it in his eyes. He played terribly, and then they calmed him down at halftime. He got a little success and started being a little bit more confident and playing a little bit better. But everything you said was correct about that. Let's switch to baseball. Getting closer to Hoover. I cannot wait to go watch some games up there. Florida baseball overall record. I think they played South Florida. I'm sure they won that game yesterday. I didn't write down the score. They lost that game?
They got whipped. Yeah, they lost 8-1. That was but guys, here's and look, I'm not trying to make excuses, but what a crazy weekend it was in Columbia against South Carolina.
Yeah.
You had weather delay. Florida played 13 innings of baseball on Sunday. So Kevin O'Sullivan went into last night's game going, "Where's my pitching?"
Right.
There are guys I can't. There are a lot of guys I can't put out there. I can't do this.
Wow.
So they threw Matthew Jenkins, who threw for the first time for Florida in 7 weeks. He's a 6'6" sophomore, so he's been back on the hill. He was on a 45-pitch count, but he didn't allow a run. He didn't even allow a hit, and he struck out 7. But unfortunately, they had to move away from him and go to some other guys, and they got lit up. But huge series this weekend with Texas. The Longhorns were 19-2 in SEC play, making them the third team to do that since 1996. Arkansas absolutely hammered them last weekend, though. Razorbacks outscored them 28-9 in the series, and you got to believe Texas is going to be a little fired up this weekend. But also for Florida, not only getting Matthew Jenkins back, but guys, last weekend we had a Pierce Capella sighting, the 6'8" lefty, and that was big. He only pitched 20-something pitches, but getting him now with 2 more series left in the regular season. If you get him and Jenkins and can extend those pitch counts a little bit, and these guys are healthy, that's going to help Florida by the time they get to the SEC tournament.
Mark, are they at Texas or are they at home?
Oh, they're at Texas.
They're at Texas.
But,
they're at Texas, okay.
But, Texas is not a great hitting team. They're 282, and they've killed slugging percentage 503. But where they get you, and Florida and Texas are dead even in fielding percentage, 980, 979. But where they get you is pitching. They are pitching very, very well. Not a big strikeout team. Florida has over 100 more strikeouts this year than Texas, but they pitch awfully well. They locate the ball, 121 WHIP, and an ERA of 3.51, which are among the highest in the country. I would say top 10 in the nation.
Mark, do you know where the SEC softball tournament's being played? Is it in Athens?
I think it is. Yeah. It's Georgia. Georgia's called the home team. So yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask you this before. Have you heard anything on the Mississippi State baseball search, who they're looking at, or anything like that?
The president of the University of Michigan.
Yeah. Hey, 4-0 since the firing. That includes a sweep over Kentucky.
You think there's any way they'd make him?
Probably not. They're probably going to want to go out and get some. There's a couple of names that are out there.
Can you share them with us?
It's a little early because they vary so wildly. They were looking at one of the assistants from the ACC. I think that was pretty solid. But
assistant?
Yeah, but you get a lot of that. We'll see. I mean, but that was a guy who had worked at Mississippi State under John Cohen. That they were looking at there, so that makes sense. But no, I mean, and Mississippi State, they've got Ole Miss this weekend, but then they play Missouri, who might be going for. I don't think anyone's ever finished SEC play without an SEC victory, and Missouri has yet to win an SEC game.
Mark, we let the time slip away. Thank you so much for coming on, and remind everybody again how they can follow you.
Yeah, blitzsportsradio.com with a piece on Alabama's there. I'll have the defensive piece in about 3 days. And there's a piece on Florida for Florida fans. There's on the blog. And also at McLeod Live, McLeod Live. Thanks, guys.
You're the best. Mark McLeod, every Wednesday, 8:30, right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Thank you guys for coming on, doing a great job. Don't forget, we are home, the Atlanta Braves. And I don't know if I told you or not, Arnold Marlins are playing for the state championship. They did win. They're going down there. The oldest school in Panama City Beach. Go Marlins. You want to help out the school, please do so. Same thing with South Walton. Port St. Joe. Holmes County, man, baseball up here is the king. Football used to be, we're not anymore. It's a baseball county. Unbelievable. What?
I said you got 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. I thought you said something else with that finger.
Can I remind John that Mississippi State swept Kentucky? I don't know if he heard it the 5 other times I said.
don't think
I'm sorry, Brian. We're out of time.
Ryan Mulvey right here, 11-1. David and Underdogs this afternoon. Keep it right here all day long. ESPN 104.3. We're out.
Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
Up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Winter